I remember in summer camp, where the day is divided between, obviously, the prayers, the learning, special learning classes, but also sports, and there's just substantial amount of time for sports and games, etc. But how do you stop from a learning activity to a sports activity? One is supposed to learn Torah a whole day. So on the PA, they would announce, learning never ends. And now go play for a few moments. We're just coming from the holiday of Shavuos. We just received the Torah. Learning never ends. And for that matter, the Yom Tov doesn't end with just last night when we made Havdalah. It continues into today. Today called Isro Chag, the day after the Yom Tov, but it has a special name. Yom Tavuach. What does this mean? So I'll share with you in a moment, but first of all, obviously, we have to thank God for the Torah that we received, for the Yom Tov that we celebrated, and for the Yom Tov that we're going to celebrate, the Yom Tov of the coming of Mashiach. Mizmor l'soido ri l'adonai kol haaretz ivdes adonai b'simcha. Boi lefanav v'nana duka adonai elim hu esanu v'lo nachtam v'tzamarisoi. Boi yishar b'soido chatzoros b'si l'hoid l'bach shemoi. Ki tov adonai lo'olam chazdoi v'yadoi v'dor emunasoi, and obviously, Abisal Tzedakah, and so the day after every Yom Tov, for that matter, Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot, the day afterwards is called Isru Chag. Simple meaning is the day following, but Isru also comes from the word bound. A prisoner is called Asir. Something which is forbidden, Asur, meaning what? It's bound in the prohibited. There is a verse, actually we said it on Yom Tov in the Hallel, in the Minametzar, Psalm 118. There it says, Keil Hashem, God is God. Vayoyer lanu, and He gave us light. Isru Chag ba'avosim, bind the sacrifice with ropes. At karnos hamizbeach, until it's brought to the corners of the altar. So the Gemara in Sukkah explains, what is it talking about? What means gives us light, what is binding to the corners of the altar of the Mizbeach. So he says, Isru Chag ba'avosim. Ba'avosim, which is translated as cords, avosim could also mean fattened animals. So the Gemara explains that this means to say, anyone who establishes an addition, an attachment, an issur to the festival of the day by eating and drinking, by enjoying a good steak, is credited according to Torah as if he built an altar and sacrificed an offering on it. That's the Gemara in Sukkah says. So Isru Chag is, as I said, every Yom Tov, the day after, if you celebrate it, in other words, you're still inspired from the Yom Tov. But on Shavuos, there is an additional thing. It's called Yom Tavuach. If for whatever reason, and there are many halachic reasons, and I'm not going to go into it now, one could not bring the festival offering on Shavuos, he was able to bring it the next day. So Tavuach, which means the day of shechting, it's the day of slaughtering. So the day of after Shavuos is also a day of slaughtering. For that matter, in fact, the Gemara says that Chag HaShavuos yesh l'tashlumim kol shiva. There's a whole week, a whole 7 days, and therefore we don't say Tachanun. Till the 12th day of the month of Sivan, we don't say Tachanun, because this is the days that we can still bring the offerings of Shavuos. But what's the idea? Okay, so we know the halachic reason. So what happens on this day? We don't say Tachanun, we don't say the Lamentations in the morning and by Mincha and by Kriyas Shema, and one is supposed to have a little bit of a better festive meal. What's the idea? So the Alter Rebbe says the following. We're coming from such a high experience of having received the Torah with all the commandments. We need to internalize it. We need to digest it. We said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we're going to do it. Now that we know what we're supposed to do, we need to internalize it. We need to digest it. Just like a person is coming back from a trip and acquired a lot of merchandise on a business trip, he needs a few days to unpack. He needs a few days to put everything in its proper place. So this is what those few days are. These are days that we have to internalize, we have to unpack, and put every mitzvah in its proper compartment. Some is for the mind, some is for the heart, most of them in the actions. And this way, learning never ends. This way, Shavuos never ends. And may God help that right now we continue Shavuos with Mashiach and the Beis HaMikdash.